It is 5 minutes past 11 in the a.m. Just Paul with you. Community service. You're tuned to KFUG Community Radio. And live in the studio, I have Lennon, joined by Kenny Craddy, both here to represent the work that Rin does at Rin's Rescues.
Rin's Rescues VIP house, standing for Very Important Pet House.
Nice. Okay. So where is the VIP house?
It is in Fort Dick at an undisclosed location because I don't want a bunch of animals being thrown over our fence.
That's very, very good. But you got, that's a nice place to have, though. A nice scene out
we
there.
have
for
2
animals.
acres out there.
Oh, beautiful. That's really, really cool. So tell us a little bit, tell us a lot, tell us everything about what it is you do at Rin's Rescues.
Okay, well, I'm a retired certified veterinarian technician of 30 years. Doctors Wendy Brooks and Doctors Leslie Moore from Mar Vista Animal Medical Center are responsible for most of my knowledge, medical knowledge in the field. Mm-hmm. I'm currently housing 37 animals there.
Wow.
And that's a lot. And they're senior and special needs.
Now, are you living in the house with them, or is
Absolutely.
this just for that's wonderful. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, you have to. I do treatments, several times a day. Mm-hmm. 2 cats require bladder expression 3 times a day, and there's animals. Like I said, as seniors and special needs, there's always, there's mobility problems, there's blindness, there's deaf, there's diabetes, there's Cushing's disease, there's just various amounts of diseases, and for more or less, they're not contagious diseases, but they are issues that animals do develop at a later age, and some actually develop at an earlier age. These animals, we have placed, since 2012, we have rescued, vetted, spayed, neutered, given the proper medicine, and with good medical outcomes, according to Doctors Moore and Doctors Brooks, have been placed in wonderful new homes for new beginnings, over 6,000 animals.
Over what time?
Since 2012.
Oh my gosh, 6,000 animals
6,000
have come through the VIP house.
That's correct.
And found homes. That's beautiful. That's really, really awesome.
Well, we do a lot of, it's a work of love.
Sure.
And it's hard work, and I get up at 5:30 every morning and I work until 9:30 at night. Mm-hmm. I have a little break in between 10 and 2 where I can go shopping. Mm-hmm. But I do have to have pet food delivery services because I get, 8, what is it? I'm trying to think of the pounds.
100 pounds.
Oh no, more than that.
Yeah.
More than that. It's about 500 to 800 pounds of, animal food. Mm-hmm. Cats are from Chewy.com. The cat food are from Chewy.com, and then I use Lulu's Pet Service. And she's out of Grants Pass. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, we were both in Los Angeles at one time, and she used to be a client at Mar Vista, where I worked. And when I moved up here, I bought the house sight unseen. Mm-hmm. I bought it online. And when we drove up here, I didn't know what I was moving into. All I know is I had 32 animals in tow.
Oh, you showed up with 32 animals?
I did. We didn't get here until midnight.
Oh, my
gosh.
So
we walked into pitch black, and it was pitch black out there. There's no lights or anything.
Yeah.
So we walk in, and we're not sure where to put the dogs and the cats. And we're just like, okay, well, let's just choose a room, some rooms. And it's like, we didn't even know where the bedrooms were, bathrooms, because we didn't know the floor plan.
Well, so what made you buy a house sight unseen in Del Norte County and come up from LA with 32 animals?
Well, after my second stroke in Los Angeles, I'm really good now, though.
Yeah, I'm going.
Because the stress level is gone. The doctor said if you don't change your lifestyle, you're gonna, be.
Yeah.
You'll be a resident at the VIP house.
Exactly. I'll become my own resident. Thank you, Kenny. So I didn't want to say the death, but I was going that way. So I thought, well, to make some money, because I was paying a mortgage there. In Los Angeles, you pay for a little box.
Sure.
They call a house.
Forever.
And for a little tiny, forever. And you're paying a mortgage, and I was paying, hustling to pay, my bills, my mortgage, pay for the animals. And, I have great donors, just some amazing people. My board of directors, Patricia Epp, is lovely and wonderful. And she's been so supportive. She's on my board of directors and just a great donor. But as I said, why did I pick that? It's because I had to change my lifestyle. And I'd never heard of Crescent City. So I was looking for property to buy, to rent out, like what do you call it, on the auction sites, where there's debilitated properties. I thought, well, I'll get something and I'll buy it cheap and rent it out. Well, over my screen came a place here in Crescent City, and I thought, well, this is still in California, but man, that's beautiful. Where is this?
Oh, wow.
So I saw it's way far away, and I thought, well, what else is in Crescent City? So I looked, and I looked around, and I saw a few houses, and I kept putting in my queue, of houses to go back to, and I found my dream house, and I saw it, and I thought, well, this is beautiful. It's got beautiful trees, and I saw a picture of it, and I just made motions to buy it.
Wow. So just a chance happening online, a listing that comes up, and wow, that's amazing.
Well, with the
I love
money
that.
I sold my house for, I had bought it because nobody wanted to live there, and lived in South Los Angeles, and I worked in West LA, but I worked in South Los Angeles, and I lived in South Los Angeles where I bought the house. Nobody wanted to live there, so I got it for I think $1,925.
Oh, great! And then
that was back in 2003. Sold
Excellent.
it for $350.
Yep, there you go.
And stayed in it, made improvements, and then moved and was able to buy this house outright.
I did the same thing, but in San Francisco, coming up here, and
Yeah.
you cash in there, and then you come up here. Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
And
It's
I bought it
beautiful.
outright, so I
Upgrade.
don't have any mortgage.
That's
So-
wonderful. That's wonderful. That's
Well, I
wonderful.
had to because the government retired me. When
Oh, yeah.
I moved up here and I started looking for work, and I got a letter from the government saying, we've ran your social, and you've had every part of your body worked on due to my job. I've had my finger bit in half.
Oh my gosh.
Surgery here, surgery on my shoulder, my knees, my back, my hands, every part. And they said, you're not a candidate. No one's going to hire you because, you're on, you're just, you're retired. So just just run your rescue and call it good. And we'll give you your Social Security early.
So was it like? I mean, is it like disability? But you had the government come and go. You didn't have to apply for anything. They just came and went. Here, you're
basically,
done.
yeah, because they said, you're, I thought I was trying to get a job here, and they said, no, no
Excellent.
one's gonna, so they said, just run your rescue. You see that you're already a nonprofit,
Okay.
501c3.
So did the state tell you this? Was this from the state?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That just to go go do what you love, go do what's your best,
it
right?
wasn't so much that. They said you can't work.
Well, yeah, okay, all right. I know it wasn't, but that
But
was
they
the
s-
outcome, right?
But yeah, I mean, they said you're good to run your rescue. I'm above board. In fact, animal control comes and visits me. They make pop visits, and they said you're above board all the way around. Every
That's
time
wonderful.
they've come, they said your house is clean. The animals, they couldn't believe. They said that animal is 19 years old, and I said, yeah. Here's the records. Here's
Wow,
all my
wow.
records. Here's my charts. Here's my documents. Here's my, and they inspect every animal, dogs and cats, and they just couldn't believe the age because they're walking around and they're happy. And
Excellent. That's really cool.
so yeah, I make them. They live longer, way longer than they're supposed to, but because they have constant medical care from my training that I received from schooling. I got my certifications in anesthesiology, radiology, triage, zoonotics, dentistry, all the
Wow.
so
That's an amazing story. That's really, really cool. So now tell me how many animals you have now?
37
37. Just dogs and cats? Or do you have other
dogs,
things?
cats,
too?
2 sheep.
2 sheep. I was wondering if there were goats and sheep out
I'm
there
a
too.
vegetarian, and they were rescued from. Well, they wouldn't nurse from their mothers.
Are you the sheep whisperer for
Yes,
her?
you-
Is that what-
Part-time.
yeah,
Until we headbutt.
yeah. It can only go so far, and then you reach an impasse. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's amazing, though.
They weren't nursing from their mothers, so and I had to bottle feed them both when I got them. And Elliot, which I called, he's a black Welsh mountain sheep.
Oh my God, named
Well,
Elliot.
he sounded because he sounded like the guy. He sounded like the thing from E.T. Elliot. So because we need so I just call him Elliot. So anyway, I was bottle feeding him, and finally I got him onto real food. And now he was like 20 pounds when I got him. Now he's over 150.
Wow.
Neutered him, of course.
Yeah.
Ugh, because without that, and
Nobody
then,
wants a randy sheep running
oh
around.
boy, 'Cause he used to butt us so bad,
Wow,
and
wow.
Kenny and I both, and he just ram us and just boom, but after he was neutered, and they've got a nice big place. Bought him up, I got him a barn, and I paid for it at Home Depot and made payments, little by little. I paid it off,
House
just
payments. For a sheep.
That's
Imagine
right.
it.
That's right. But some of the stories they have are amazing. Like Mr. Doolittle was, he was turned into the shelter at the age of, I think it was 12. And he was emaciated. He had 50 embedded foxtails in his skin. He couldn't walk. He had pneumonia.
What kind of animal was Mr. Doolittle?
Mr. Doolittle's a little white Pomeranian, the first Pom I ever rescued. And then after that, I went Pom crazy. But he had, nobody ever thought he was going to walk. I had him on IV fluids at my home. And he went back and forth with me to work, because I could monitor him at work, obviously, because I worked at an animal hospital. Dr. Woods, I see here, but at All Creatures.
All Creatures, yeah.
But Mr. Doolittle, I didn't know if he was going to make it, after, the pneumonia and everything and the debilitating state he was in, and he couldn't walk, and so I'd have to carry him around. And then one day he just started walking, and if you could see the before and after pictures, actually you can. There is a video on YouTube. And if you Google or YouTube on, go in the browser and put Rin's Rescue Save a Life, that's actually my band playing. It's called Monogroove, and we're doing Save a
Original
Life.
song.
It's an original song written by me and performed by the band Monogroove. And you'll see Mr. Doolittle in there, his transformation. And he turned out to be a fluffy, beautiful dog, walking again, and made a full recovery and had his second. Sadly, he did pass away back in November, 2 months shy of his 20th birthday.
Oh my gosh.
So that's an amazing.
Got his money's worth.
I get,
Right on.
I get teary-eyed talking about him because he passed away in my bed in his sleep next to me. So that's
beautiful.
I mean, that's what a way to go.
Yeah.
And then there was Duke, who I got a call from. He was a big 85-pound shepherd mix.
You get a call from Duke?
No.
Wow,
Pretty much.
That's a new dog.
I got a call from an owner that said to come and pick up Duke. That his dog can't move. He's got pus coming out of his eyes. He's incontinent. He's got maggots. He's got all this stuff. I hate to say maggots, but it's true. He did.
Yeah.
And he's got all this. He can't move, and he's out in the backyard. And I thought, oh God. And so I thought I was fully coming to pick him up to bring him back and have the veterinarians euthanize him.
Does that happen? Sometimes are you kind of a dumping spot for people who don't want to deal with the passing of their dog?
I do. I pick them up and I bring them to the vets, and if they have a good outcome of medical and management treatments, and see if they can overcome this. According to Dr. Moore and Dr. Brooks at that time, or Dr. Woods, if they have a good medical outcome, then they stay on with me with medical care. And I see if I can rehabilitate them and then get them homes. If no one wants an old, diabetic, blind, incontinent dog or cat, then it stays with me with wearing diapers and goes outside and has a great time. With Duke, he was so far gone. He couldn't see. He couldn't walk. He had he was incontinent. He had pneumonia, horrible bladder infection, and 4 bad discs. And he couldn't walk on any 4 legs. So I picked him up.
What kind of dog?
Shepherd lab mix.
You said, okay.
Yeah. And I put him in my car, in my Mustang, and I took him to the vet, fully thinking, okay, we're just gonna euthanize him. And I thought, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I hate, because euthanasia, there's no more chances.
Yeah, that's it.
So let's give him a chance. So I loaded him up with fluid, gave him some Baytril and some Polyflex. And I said, and just to start him on some antibiotics. And I put him in a big run on a blanket and cleaned out his eyes and flushed the maggots and got rid of that so we were more comfortable. And I thought, if you're alive in the morning, then we're a go.
Wow.
So I came in the morning and he poked his head up and I said, okay, we're a go. That dog for 8 months was in or maybe it was 3 months. I think Bear was 8 months. So many animals, like I said, so many animals have passed through. Some have gone, and some are living in my life. I love them all. So many animals have passed through. Like I said, most of them, like the 6,000, have found amazing new great homes.
That's beautiful.
And that's a wonderful. That to me is, I'm not rich in monies, but I'm rich in my heart for what I do. My grandmother was an animal rescuer.
Really?
So I saw it at a very early age. She had parrots, turtles, blind dogs, deaf dogs,
Oh my
even a
gosh.
little pony in her backyard. And she lived in Santa Monica. So it was crazy. So she was a lovely person. But Duke, we made a full recovery and lived another 2 years. We got him walking again and everything, but it took 8 months for that dog to walk.
Wow.
8 months. He was in, the straps, and I put the exercise ball underneath him. That was kind of my specialty is mobility issues in dogs and cats. I have a 8 out of 10 success of making dogs walk again.
Wow.
Dogs that they say that cannot walk. And some are treated in hyperbaric chambers, with treatments, and because it's a skin issue or this or that. Some said, this dog has cancer, it's got lymphoma, it's going to die. And I thought, nope, I'm going to put it in the hyperbaric chamber, I'm going to treat it and blah. And they gave that dog 6 months to live. This was a veterinarian. It was a specialty veterinarian. I said, no, this dog is telling me it's got, it had bed sores and everything. We used honey. Honey is, organic honey you put on the wounds. And you put tape. And there's also A-cell, which is pig's bladder, to promote skin healing.
Really? Wow.
Where there's no blood supply. It creates a blood supply so that skin, the skin can rejuvenate and make some new skin.
I'll be darned.
So that's for bed sores and stuff. So, that was 6 years ago. That dog's alive and well and living in Oregon.
Wow. Oh my
so
gosh.
when they gave him 6 months.
Yeah.
So he's doing great.
That's awesome.
And
where did you get that? Where do you get that sort of, you hear something? I mean, I'm wondering how much a part of this is consciously you. I assume it is, but yeah, somebody says something about a dog. This dog is sort of doomed to this fate. And what is it in you that makes you kind of sit up and go, no?
I want to give him every chance, because once you euthanize a dog, there's no more chances. So I thought, they're going to euthanize him anyway. Let me try. So I asked the rescue person, give me 3 days, please. Just give me 3 days. And she did. She said, okay, if he's not better. And I had that dog walking in 3 days.
That's amazing. That's really
And same with another dog. It was a German Shepherd. And I think he's on the website, rinsrescues.com.
Okay.
And they said, this dog will never walk. This dog will never walk again. It was a German Shepherd. And he was I just thought, he was so down. He wasn't even conscious. And a lot of the dehabilitation syndrome is, dehydration.
Yeah.
So you got a fluid, you got to pump there's a lot of different medicines. And for degenerating discs and nerve problems and things like that, there's a medication called gabapentin that works amazing. It also can be used on fractious cats when they're coming to the vet. If you have a fractious cat, people, now listen to me. You get 100 milligrams of gabapentin from your vet. You mix it in with AD, feed it to your cat, and it's a kitty cocktail. That cat will be sweet as pie. You can put him in the carrier and take him to the vet.
Wow.
No problem.
Good to know.
They're
That's
like,
really...
hi, what's up? It's like they smoked a joint or something. So it's like, they're all happy. I don't care. Go ahead. You want to see an arm? Sure.
Man,
so
this box is amazing. The 11:24 the time. Just Paul with you. Community Service, the show. You're tuned to KFUG. We're talking to Rin Lennon from Rin's Rescues and Rin's Rescues. And what's the full title? Rin's Rescues, the VIP house.
Very important pet house, or also abbreviated VIPhouse.com. Rinsrescues.com is the website, and they can go to that. That's RINSRESCUES. rescues.com. Rescues,
And
just the way it sounds.
You've brought a volunteer, Kenny Craddy. Kenny, of course, a musician, plays with Ren.
Monogroove.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I'm the drummer in Monogroove.
You are the drummer in Monogroove.
Yeah, actually, I've been in Monogroove for 12 years now.
Yep, 12 years.
Wow.
Yep.
So you came? Did you come up from Southern California too?
Approximately a year after Ren was established here.
Yeah. What brought you up here? Just following and coming up to do the work?
Well, that, and then of course at that time I had been in the group Monogroove for a number of years. So I wanted to stick with the band.
Right on.
We've done a ton of gigs together. We did a gig in Palm Springs where Pat Benatar was on the bill. We played a lot of shows together.
Spencer Davis group and
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
different bands we've opened for.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's really cool. The so what is it? What do you do out at Ren's Rescue out there at the VIP house?
Well, what I started off doing down in LA was pulling animals or animal transport.
Okay.
Where someone might have an animal at a shelter that needs to get bailed out, and then either taken to Ren or to the animal hospital when she was working there.
I like that phrase, that needs to get bailed out.
Really, yeah.
It's
'cause,
true.
What's something is that, when you think about it, you really have to have a heart, because the animals, they don't have a voice in this. Sometimes, as Ren just explained, sometimes people just give up, rather than say, you know what, I want to give this one more try. And how many times have we said in life, you want to give something just one more shot, and then bingo.
Or you're like, I wish I had that one more shot. That's great. Wow.
Yeah. And so at various ages, dogs and cats are taken to, I don't call it the shelter because there's really no shelter in it. So there's a roof over their head, but it's really, unfortunately, a chopping block.
Really,
because
yeah.
they're so full today, because I feel sometimes people are not responsible with their dogs or cats.
They don't spay and neuter.
Yeah. I mean, a number of times I see them even now out on the road, and people post messages on Facebook. Oh, have you seen my dog or cat? And I'm
Careful.
I'm super vigilant about my dog. 'Cause
You always know what's going on. Yeah.
Because what, our pets are smart. They learn things from watching us, but then still, they don't have reasoning. So that's where you have to really be careful. So and the dogs that I've had, in fact, the dog I have right now has come through Ren's Rescue.
Oh, wow. Really?
Of course.
And it's a Chihuahua. And I'm sure after seeing the movies that have been in Beverly Hills Chihuahua and whatever, people go, oh, I want to get a Chihuahua, or I want to get a pit bull, or whatever, And unfortunately, those are the more common breeds that are in the.
They euthanize 300 a day down in the larger cities.
Wow.
300 a day, dogs and cats.
Wow.
And it's overwhelming and sad. And excuse me, my first job was at the SPCA in 1985. I got my apprenticeship there, and I had nightmares about it, and I cried about it, and it was terrible. But I got my apprenticeship and got out of there, and I vowed, I said, from this day forward, after my apprenticeship and after I left the SPCA, any dog that's in my path that I can help, whether I share it, whether I place it, whether I rescue it, whether I find it a home, whether I medicate it, whether I help the people with it, with food, medicine, whatever they need, I will do it. Anything, any dog or any cat that I see that's within my power to help, I help it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Most of these are seniors that are dumped, or people dump them because they're going on vacation or they're moving. And it's like when Dr. Brooks used to say, you're moving, so you're getting rid of your pet? Well, I heard they allow pets in Texas now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, there was no filter on her. She was just like, and it's like people would be like, some people would be turned off by that, but it's like, this is the best doctor you can have. She's board certified. She continues to get more education because she does ongoing continuing education for classes to get recertified, and finds out all the latest, greatest things. Like Serenia, great drug, and originally it was just used for, it was an anemetic, which is for stomach upset.
Okay.
Vomiting and what have you. But
so an anemetic would settle your stomach then, as
well,
opposed to...
it's Pepsid,
Sure.
Rolaids, anything like that. But,
Gotcha.
But this is an anemetic, but that's not its only function. It also clears up skin, stops diarrhea, and they've only just begun to tap the resources. It's also a painkiller.
Wow.
It's an amazing drug, and there's a lot of really good. So, because of the knowledge that that she gained, I gained because she was my boss. And there's just so many animals with so many animal stories that have come through my way that have gone on to great lives. And it's like, and it's tearful to place them in new homes, but I'm glad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm sad to say goodbye, but I'm also, they're tears of joy knowing that they're going to have a great life.
How does an animal come to live in the VIP house?
Well, if it's got nowhere else to go, and there's too many treatments, it has ongoing medical conditions, it's got ruptured cruciates and it's too old to have surgery, or it's blind, or it's deaf, or it's got ongoing, diabetes, excuse me. Or it's someone has died here. I've taken in several animals here that the owner has died. Oh, wow. And the animal's older, and they can't find it at home. And they said, we're out of options. We got to take it to the pound. I said, no.
So do you just hear about these things?
People contact me.
Do you have contacts? You have people who know, okay, this is a dog for Ren?
They find me on the
okay.
internet.
Okay.
They find me they can Google me and I come up, or they find me on Facebook. Facebook seems to be the go-to place in Crescent City.
Sure.
It wasn't so much in Los Angeles. They were on Twitter and other things that were after Facebook. But Facebook seems to be the thing in this town. So I just continued my Facebook work. And we do save a lot of animals this way. But yes, they contact us.
Okay.
And I say, well, we have room. If we don't, then I try and find it at another place. I have currently housing... Like I said, the amount I'm housing, and then I have fosters down in Los Angeles. I'm still active down there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I have five or 7 fosters down in foster care in Los Angeles that I pay for because they're in foster. So that means if they're in foster, the rescue is the backer. It's called rescue backing.
Okay.
And I still have to pay their bills when they go to the vet.
Oh, wow.
So every penny I make and earn and everything. In fact, I sell things on eBay. To supplement their food. The house cost about $2,500 a month to run, and that's a lot of money.
Totally, yeah, that is, and
that is nowhere near my Social Security check.
And there's no mortgage involved in that at all, right? You're just paying. This is the operational cost for the VIP house.
$2,500.
Wow.
A month. Yeah,
wow.
That's their medicine, their food, their care. And then I don't pay volunteers.
So, if you don't mind me asking, and I know, how do you make ends meet with something like that?
We have donors.
That's
as
amazing.
I said, we have donors that do contribute. It's never enough, but it sure helps. It's so supportive, and it really does make a difference. I mean, if every one of my friends on Facebook would donate $5 towards this cause, just $5. That would help us out.
Yeah.
If they agreed to do $5 every month. That would really help us out because, the last food bill was $804. That's for the dogs. And then the last cat bill was almost $700.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is, and then there's, we do 5 and 6 loads of wash every day. It's constant.
Yeah.
It's constant washing, bedding, pee pads. I use the washable. I don't like to.
You don't like the disposable ones?
Well,
That's
no,
cool.
Because that's waste.
Yeah.
And
totally.
that's contributing to the waste station, which contributes to the landfills.
Yep.
I'm all about, I'm a hippie, and
Recycling.
it's like, I use
Reusable.
Everything until it's got. I could show you my grocery list, and you'll see every bit of it is used. I flip it over. I keep turning it over.
The list itself, right?
Yeah.
Use both sides.
It looks like a crazy person's been writing on this thing. Yeah.
We got a call from San Bernardino City Shelter some years back, And they said, there's 2 underage kittens here, because they just euthanized those right away.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh, yeah, any
They're too young
underage-
to be spayed, or they're not.
Well, they're
winged
underage.
Yet?
They're
Yeah.
underage. They
Okay.
can't adopt them out legally. They
Oh,
have to wait
okay.
till they're 8 weeks old.
Gotcha.
So they had, 4-week-old kittens that people just dump in there. And they put them in this bucket that's called the death bucket. I know it's horrible, and people don't want to hear the horrible stories.
Nah, people should
But-
hear the horrible stories.
Okay, but
Yeah.
well, the good thing is people like, and there's lots of rescues out there. There's more rescues out there now than there ever was, and it's wonderful. I take my hats off to Perfect Pet Rescue, Love Leo's Rescue, just things like that. There's great rescues, and the Pepper Foundation, and there's just many rescues out there that are so wonderful. Anyway, I got a call, 2 underage kittens. So I said, well, go and drive out there and get him. One of them was Vox, and he was a Manx, and he couldn't breathe, and he had low blood sugar and a URI. That's a upper respiratory infection,
Okay.
where they can't breathe. And he was, I think, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and he weighed a half a pound.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and I put IV catheters in these animals, half-pound animals, puppies and kittens that are emaciated with no blood pressure. I put an IV catheter in
Wow.
that tiny vein.
Oh my God.
The needle is the size of their vein, but I was a very skilled technechician.
That's
And
and
putting
that's
that-
something you're either born with or not. You don't develop that, do you?
I think it's from guitar playing.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, the dexterity.
It's like
Manuel-
taking an E string and just kind of.
that's right. It's, they're
Super fine gauge.
little 25 gauge IV catheters. In any case, by the time they got there, there were 15 underage kittens.
Oh, no.
And they said, Rin, there's 15 now. And they're all in the death bucket. And I said, bring them all.
Wow.
So we got 13 of them homes. 2 of them stayed with us because they were URI. They had chronic issues for life. Actually, 3. Mr. Frog. His name originally was Bobby Darin, but he's very well. I mean, they all have very funny names,
Yeah.
There's Justin Timberlake and Kiefer Sutherland, Sly and the Family Stone. So
Which one's Sly?
he's a sly, he's sneaky,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
sneaky cat. So, in any case, they were all adopted, and the rest, the 3 stayed with us: Lannister, Vox, and Frog, who was Bobby Darin, but now we call Frog.
Ribbit.
It looked like he was inbred. He was a Manx, and he has the typical Manx problems, with the unable to urinate properly, unable to defecate, or just leaks poop. So he has to wear a
gosh.
diaper, and he has a chronic URI. It's so bad. Right now he's ill, but I'm, treating him. I've pulled him out of death. I don't know how many times now.
Oh man.
But and they didn't expect him to live past 6 months. He's 6 years old
Oh,
now.
nice.
So, and Godzilla is the most amazing. He was brought in by a Good Samaritan with his brothers and sisters. The Good Samaritan found him in an alley in West Los Angeles. And there was 4 kittens. They were all 3 weeks old. And the Good Samaritan brought him in, 4 kittens. And they all came marching out, well, sort of hobbling out.
Yeah,
because they were
like little
3
kittens.
weeks old.
Yeah.
And at that age, they're just learning to walk. And I looked in the carrier and I said, well, there's still one in there. And they said, oh, yes, him. And I said, and I reached in there and I pulled him out, and he couldn't walk. He didn't have any feeling in his back legs.
Oh, no.
No, nothing. Couldn't walk on his back legs. And they said, well, we feel the best course of action for him is euthanasia. And the doctor said, you're probably right, because there's no one that's going to adopt him. And I tugged on her neck. She said, you want the baby.
Oh no.
And I said, of course, he's special needs. So I took Godzilla and I expressed his bladder. Anyway, and you will see the story of Godzilla is on Facebook, and he's featured in that little video I
nice.
told you about. But he's 7 years old now.
Wow.
And he grew up to be a nurse. He has raised over 50 puppies and kittens, orphan puppy and kittens. When we bring home the orphans that are 2-3 days old.
Yeah,
of course I supply the KMR or the Espalac, the kitten milk or the puppy milk, which they need. But he does the rest. He cleans them. He keeps them warm. He bathes them. He licks their butts. He does all that stuff, and that's all he became Poppy. And so that is Godzilla. I call him God for short. But, and that's just not because of a religious factor, but just because he's God, you know. To me, that's just short for Godzilla. But he's a lovely cat. He grew up, and he gets around faster than some of the other cats with 4 legs. He has no problem getting around. He climbs the trees.
So he still can't use his hind legs?
Nope.
Wow.
We took x-rays. We did all the tests. We feel that probably what happened was in the birth canal, he was probably the last one born, and probably that the birth sac came off and he was stuck in the birth canal and probably did some damage, neurological damage. But he is a wonderful cat. He pulls himself around, and he tells me which cat is sick too.
Wow.
Or a dog, he'll go over and start cleaning them, and I'll say, okay.
Oh my gosh.
And so animals that can't clean themselves anymore, they're old, but they're still happy and they still eat. I do not make animals live longer than they should. That's the thing. That is a deciding factor. If there's 5 things, well, maybe less, but if they don't recognize you anymore, if they're not happy anymore, if they're not eating anymore, if they can't walk anymore, and if they're in pain. Those 5 factors that's when you have to make the decision, and there's no medical treatment that will save them. 18-year-old down, cancer, whatever it is, there's many reasons. Cushing's, they've succumbed to their issues. There's lots of different reasons why, skin immune mediated diseases where they have to be on this horrible medicine that gives them quality of life, but it shortens their life, but you have to make the decision. Or they'll just pass away in their sleep even after they've eaten that day, and they'll just pass away in their sleep. But you do have to make the decision, it's a hard one, but it's like when an animal is suffering and you see no other course, they've already been diagnosed as there's nothing else we can do, then we have to end their suffering. I will not let an animal suffer. I will not.
Yeah.
That is cruel.
Well, and the five factors you point out, I mean, those are serious, quality of life issues.
You have to, if they're not having fun anymore, if they're not eating, if they're not moving, if they're not, then they become a doorstop, and they don't even know who they are. That's not life. That is not, there's no one home anymore. That's not, and then the people, if they want to make the animal continue living at that stage, that's making the animal live for themselves. And to me, that's selfish. So I do the final final act of kindness by letting them go, And Dr. Kay Franson comes up several times a year to do checkups and do... she comes up 4 times a year to do, to check out all the animals, see what they need and this and that, and prescribes medicine, because you have to be up, like I said, up on board. And as I said, animal control came and investigated and looked at all my paperwork and documentation, and they said, well, we wish people with one animal had as together as clean and your house is. They said they couldn't believe how clean the house was with all these animals. Well, it's constant cleaning.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the secret. That's why I'm constant.
Stay on top of it. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean.
Hey, there you go. She's flexing.
Look out.
It's, a lot of that was from holding animals for years. And, so it is what it is. And it is rinsrescues.com. And from there, you can make a donation directly on the website or on the fundraiser. Recently, yes, the van that I've had everything else replaced. If you want to talk about the fundraiser, I can.
Yes, I'd like to. Let me do this. It's 11:43. You're listening to KFUG Community Radio. The show is Community Service. Ren Lennon from Ren's Rescue. And we also have Kenny Craddy, right? Yes, Kenny Craddy. I just want to call you Kenny Kids. That's all I want to call you.
There you go. That's good. That's my page on Facebook.
That is exact. That's how I know you. When you walk in, I go, I know this guy.
He's a music teacher.
Are you really?
I give private music lessons to kids.
Wow, what kind of all sorts of music, all sorts of instruments?
He's a jack of all trades.
Guitar, bass, drums, and
like a drummer should be.
Yeah, no,
Right.
like Jack Black in the movie School of Rock.
Yeah, yeah,
I bring
right on.
kids together in a kids band.
That's
you know.
oh wow, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, I have a number of videos.
What's the channel?
It's Kenny Lee. I know there are a number of them, but when you go on Facebook, you'll see some of the videos that
Under
I have
Kenny's
on there.
Kids on Facebook, you can find those
Oh,
videos
okay, okay.
Yeah.
of about how he can place your child in a band in after he gives them lessons, and
That's awesome. That's really
And-
really
Oh,
cool.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sometime let's flip it. You come sit in that chair. I want to talk to you about that.
okay.
No, not right now, not right, because we're gonna run out of time. We've got something I have to start at noon. It is 11:45. So
You got it.
let's do this, Ren. Tell me about the van.
Okay, the infamous rescue
And you're not
van.
you haven't reached the point where you're just willing to let that go now, right?
It's not
We're going
about
to give it
letting
another
go.
try.
It's not about letting go. Here's the thing. I've replaced the transmission on there is new. The drive shaft is new. The cooling system's new. The tie rods are new. The brakes are new. Everything's new on that car.
Except
The engine blew, and I'm not sure if it was a mishap or whatever, but I'm very anal about the car
Maintenance.
being maintained perfectly. I take it to Milanich Motors, right around here, right around the corner, Dan Milanich, and he always services my car, keeps it going. And that's been the infamous van that has transported thousands of animals. The only thing left to replace would be an engine, and the thing is $3,200 is a lot less than $32,000 for a new van.
Yep.
So if I put a new engine in this van, I will have a new van.
Presto,
Because
yeah.
everything else has been replaced. I mean, I do have one that I'm driving now. It's a van. And this really nice man said, well, you can drive the van, and if you decide you want to take the money you're raising and buy this one, you can. It's a good running van.
But you're kind of starting over again with unknowns as far as like
Exactly.
what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the goal is 3,200, but I've only asked for 2,000 because I feel like I don't want to ask for the whole amount because I feel like I should pay for half of it. So I've reached half of it, 1,600 and
Yeah,
something.
1651 as of right now.
Yeah. So then there's, it's 3,200, but I'm going to have to just try and find a way.
Okay,
Well,
well-
I'm going to sell more things on eBay and keep trying to get money together and do that.
And maybe Kenny, you need to broach the subject with the animals that they should chip
There
into.
you go.
right?
That's right.
They would just give me the paw.
Yeah. Step up.
So we will definitely reshare again the fundraiser on Facebook that you have.
Thank you so much, Paul.
But it's ending soon, right? You said the 5th?
The 5th. It is ending on the 5th. And like I said, we've had, I can't believe the graciousness and the love and the compassion that people have for the animals.
All the support.
I like, all the support. Yes, thank you. That, I have a lot of people, I have over 2,000 friends and followers that do support, and most of them, 2,000 of them are rescue people that trying to make a difference. That's what I am. That's our motto, making a difference one paw at a time.
They're all over the country.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
We get donations from all over the country. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 100.
Yeah, but
And
anything. Anything is a
if
plus,
it's $5,
Yeah.
if everybody can give $5, we would hit our goal.
Yeah. So, what about if? So I'm asking because I know my wife would really love to volunteer. Is there a way for local people? Of course, local folks can donate. If there isn't an active fundraiser on Facebook, they go to the website and donate to you?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a non-online way that folks can support you?
They can send checks directly to Mar Vista Animal Medical Center,
Okay.
which is down in Los Angeles. Because as I said, I still have an account down there. Or they can check. They could just do PayPal, but that's again online.
Yeah, exactly.
But
What about volunteering? Would my wife Lisa be able to volunteer?
well, she would have to live there
Okay.
to volunteer. It's an
Okay.
all day long thing.
So yeah, that's interesting. So do you have? Do you live there, Kenny? Are you living on the premises?
No, he's
Okay.
not. But the thing is, he helps me with other things, like when I need to trim a big dog's nails,
Yeah.
or shave something, or wash something, something on,
That's a two-person job.
Yeah, exactly.
or hold an animal to give it some medicine, something on, because I have big dogs too. I have a Doberman, a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, a Border Collie. Those are the guard dogs.
Wow.
And those are also unwanted dogs. They were all rescued, except for the Doberman. He was a gift from my brother when I lived in South LA, because they used to try and reach over the fence to grab a dog for bait. And Justice, that's what her name is. She's a
Nice.
Doberman.
Oh.
If they stick their hand over the fence, justice will be served.
Instant justice. Instantly.
That's wonderful.
She has trained herself, and that was a gift for my brother. It was Doberman's always been my favorite breed, and she trained herself. She is an instant guard dog. Wow. She is an amazing dog, and she knows. I don't even have to say anything. I just use hand motions, and she does everything.
That's great. That's wonderful. And
So-
Dobermans you don't see a lot of anymore. I think I've seen one Doberman actually seen in person, a Doberman, and it was a rescue as well. But when I was a kid, Dobermans were everywhere. That was like a fashionable breed. It seemed like it kind of dropped away.
Oh well, it's not. I've always loved I had a neighbor named Bill Smalley. He was a policeman, and he had two Dobermans, and I just thought they were. I was a little kid, and they were ferocious, but they were also cool. I just thought, those are the best dogs. And then of course, we saw the series of movies, The Amazing Dobermans.
Yes.
All those, where they did the bank heists and everything. And it's like, these are just great dogs, and I've always been in love with my two favorite breeds: Doberman Pinscher and Old English Sheepdog, which I've never had either one, never been able to rescue either one. And I've always rescued the underdogs. Pit Bulls, I've placed a lot of those. Chihuahuas, I have a lot of those. The Pit Bulls are not living there because I've got them all homes.
Wow.
And the Chihuahuas, the black Chihuahuas, no one wants.
Really?
No one wants black dogs.
They want really?
No one wants black dogs. Black dogs are the most overlooked.
Wow.
I don't know.
Weird.
It's superstitious or something. They all want the white fluffy something.
I'll be damned.
Or I'll get a white Chihuahua adopted faster than a black one, or a tan colored Chihuahua faster than a black one. It just is a thing.
And I know what song we're going to play when we're done here now.
Oh, well, you might want to play. You might want to play
there you
"Save
go.
a Life" because that is.
I think
a
so.
Oh,
song.
no, I was going with Black Dog. But
think
okay.
Okay,
Zeppelin
right
in
on.
on some
That's
Zeppelin there.
even a good choice. But I do love that Led Zeppelin poster right there.
Oh, with the plane?
Oh,
yeah. Because Robert Plant has his shirt open. Is that what?
All of the above.
I like I want to know what happened
I
to the
just
Led
think
Zeppelin
that's
plane.
a great. I just think that's a great. It's a great shot.
Okay, so we will certainly, of course, repost and reshare the fundraiser, which is going on until the 5th, and you are what 3/4 of the way to your goal already. So already,
almost there, and it doesn't even the money that's been donated has been so appreciated, and I didn't even think it would get that much. I couldn't believe it, the overwhelming compassion of these people and the generous hearts of wonderful donors. I have a lot of them are from Los Angeles and abroad, and all over the world. I have donors, but I mean they give what they can, 5, 10, some give 500, which is great. And,
are you able to get like a cadre of recurring donors who just kind of monthly
some
get to you?
I have 2 recurring donors.
Just 2. I don't know if I call that a cadre, but it's a start.
2 recurring donors, and they're both lovely. And then I do get checks, delivered to my house from old clients from Mar Vista. I was the favorite there. No offense, Dr. Brooks, if you're listening. You were a favorite too, but I was the favorite technician.
So local folks who want to find out more, who want to get in touch, who want to support, send them to the website, rinsrescues.com.
Yes, and they can get all the information there.
Okay, and Facebook as well.
Facebook and rinsrescues.com. I thank you, Paul, for this
Oh, no,
opportunity.
thank you. Is there anything that you wanted to say that we didn't get to or didn't cover today?
Well, not really, except for a bunch of more dog stories.
Tell
but
us
that's
another
okay.
Tell us another dog story.
All
and
right.
then we'll play the Zeppelin.
How about a cat story?
Oh yeah, let's mix it up.
Okay.
I love me some cats. I love.
Okay. Well, I got a call. Yeah, he does this.
Dr. Doolittle.
Yes.
That's right.
He's good at it. I got a call not long ago. They said, there's a stray cat, and it went into our open carrier in our yard, and she had babies, and one of the babies passed away overnight because it was so cold. This was the cold season. It was still February or March, something cold, because it's outside. And I said, can't you bring them in? She says, no, I have a newborn child. I'm not going to bring it. I thought, gee, it's a stray cat. Can't they keep it in a garage, in a bathroom or something?
No, that's where the baby sleeps.
But anyway, yeah. Oh, yes, you did. Oh, touche. Can I use that? Can I use that lyric, please?
Yes, yeah, go right ahead.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's fine.
Okay, that's where I'll leave it in. I'll put it in the next song. So I got a call and I said, okay, well, I'll take them. It's got the 2 babies left. I named her anyway. I'll get to that. And I said, take them, drop them off to Dr. Woods so he could do the exam. The combo test. I don't take any cat in until it's have a combo test. That's an FELV-FIV test because that is contagious to other cats. You cannot have that. And they also have to PCR fecal test.
Oh, wow.
Which tests for something that people don't. It's not just a standard fecal test, which tests for parasites. This one tests for coronavirus, which is a very serious disease or parasite that can be shred in the fecals, in the feces.
It's very contagious.
And it is very contagious. And it manifests, if long enough, especially in kittens, it will manifest into FIP, which is 100% fatal.
Wow, yeah.
So can't have that. So they must have those tests before coming into the house. But anyway, I dropped it off to Dr. Woods, or they had the guy drop it off. He was able to shut the gate with the mama and babies in the cat thing. So I got a call from Dr. Woods a little while later, and he said, this cat is not a stray. It is completely feral, and it wants to kill everybody. And I
Whoa.
said, okay, so I called the people and I said, this is a feral cat, not a stray. And they said, what's the difference? And I said, oh, wow.
Yeah, okay.
Feral cat, I said, one is like a lion and the other one's like a house cat.
Uh-huh.
So that's the difference, just in layman's terms. Well, I don't get it. And I said, you don't have to. It's fine.
Don't worry about
It's fine. I'll
it to the
take them.
experts, right? Yeah.
I'll figure it out. So anyway, the cats, of course, they couldn't handle them. They couldn't do anything to them. So I took them home. And upon that, I set them up. We have an emergency evacuation vehicle, which was donated to us. It's a 32-foot RV. It looks crappy from the outside. Sorry if I use that word. Sorry. It looks cruddy from the outside. Yeah, beep. The inside is good, though. It had like 64,000.
So this is a tsunami. You got to get everybody out. Is
Correct,
that what that is?
or
Okay.
fire, whatever.
Yeah.
So I have 37 animals. I'm responsible for. So that van is loaded with pet food, supplies, carriers, water, everything, and I just load them all up and we go. And that van is ready to go at any time. I have her constantly charging.
Wow.
But in any case, so through that cold period, she was in a large dog carrier, the mom cat, and her babies. And they were in a large dog cat with of course, heat and cool upon the temperature. So, of course, they were heated. This has to be the most spoiled feral cat because she was living inside the RV in a large dog carrier. I changed her every day. As you see, well, the marks are pretty much cleared up, but she bit through the hot gloves.
Whoa.
I had to wear hot gloves. And she bit through them, even tore them off, and was shaking them. And well, this is a feral cat.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if you've ever met one, but she was jumping at my face, and I got a few scratches at my face. But I had to change her every day. You can't leave a cat for 6 weeks or whatever in her own feces, so I have to change him every day. Change the cat. I had to grab it and put it in another box. It was like I was like a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, that's what I
grabbing it.
saw just
And
now when you did
it's scratching all my arms. That's why my arms look like this, and I changed them and I washed it out, and the babies were held all the time. There are 2 babies for adoption. Her name I ended up calling Spring because she springs at your face, and I also got her in spring.
Wow.
I know it's not creative, but I just call her Mama Kitty.
Yeah.
Anyway, she now is, I had her vaccinated, combo tested, fecal tested, vaccinated, everything, and ear tipped and spayed from Dr. I think it was Fram on Four Paws, Four Paws Animal Medicals, well, the Four Paws Animal Hospital, which are very good too. And they did all that stuff. I provided the tests because I have a lot of the combo tests. You got to keep a lot on hand.
Sure.
So she was negative, and I was very happy, and I tested the babies. They were negative because they could, even though their mother was negative, doesn't mean their father was.
Oh, right. Okay.
So got to test them too. So they were negative, and their names are Choo Choo and Caboose. I call them Chooch and Boose for short. They're lovely, 2 girls, black and white and a black. And I've been advertising them. Nobody wants these kittens. But anyways, they're 4 months old now. They just got their 4-month booster. And they're going to be spayed in a couple of months because I didn't want to take them to the low-cost clinic because I asked, what do you induce them with? And I was told, and I'm not going to mention which clinic and where, but it's not in this town.
Okay.
They provide a great service. But for cats to knock them down, an induction level means to knock them down. It's for procedure. But meloxicam and ACE, I said, nope, I'll pass. I will pay the extra money to have it done properly at one of them, no. And I even checked with Dr. Brooks, and I said, they're inducing them with ACE and meloxicam. She said, what?
Oh, wow.
So this is a board certified veterinarian. I mean, she's in the medical books. She writes in the journals for the medical books. She is like above and beyond. Dr. Wendy C. Brooks, amazing work. Those of you folks that are listening online, if you are down south, I strongly advise you to run, not walk. To Mar Vista Animal Medical Center for your treatments. But sorry, I didn't mean to give the plug. But
that's all right. No, give the plug. That's absolutely fine.
I worked for her for 16 years, and it was a tearful goodbye, but I had to go for my health.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyways, so now I have the cats. She's been released, but not back into her original place where she's at. She is now living the good life at my place.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
just free and easy, coming and going as
and
she
likes. She has a big cat tree set up in one of the garages. And it's ajar so that she can get in and out of there. It's a great big cat tree, and it's draped with warm blankets and the other thing. And I feed her every day, twice a day. But she's not catching many mice. I think I'm feeding her too much.
It's too much, right? Yeah.
But that's Spring Caboose and Choo Choo and Caboose, and they're lovely.
Wow.
And I'm probably going to end up keeping them because my adoption agreement is a little strict. I don't allow people to allow their cats outside.
Yes,
I do
that's
not
not a good
believe that.
idea.
No, because they can get radiator fluid. If they drink that, they die. There's the diseases they can catch. I mean, there's no vaccine for FIP. There's no vaccine for FIV. Both they can contract. FIV is direct bite. FELV there is a vaccine for, but there is vaccines for that one, but they can also get parasites. They can get hit by cars. They can get eaten by other animals. They can get killed by anything.
You want to shorten your cat's life? Let it be an outdoor cat.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's the price you pay. So that's why my cats live to be 20, 18 to 20 years old. My dogs live to be 18 and 20 years old. Now, believe me, this is just one last note from me. Yes, okay, cats and dogs. And I know you want to let them run free, but remember, they are domestic cats and dogs.
Right.
Feral cats and dogs, there are some feral dogs, but feral cats, yes, they've learned the ropes and can probably take care of themselves. Still, if you see a feral cat that's 5 years old, that's a very long and old.
Yeah.
That's old for a feral cat.
Yeah.
So we are responsible. They are like 2-year-old toddlers if they are domestic animals, and you are responsible for their well-being for their lifetime. It is a lifetime. It's a lifetime commitment when you own a pet. It is not a throwaway thing. It is not when I'm tired, when I move. It is not when you can't deal with the problems anymore. You can't deal with this. It is a lifetime commitment. That is the same. I don't have any children of my own, not human children. I have 37 fur children.
Right.
That I hold dear, that I wouldn't do. There's nothing I wouldn't do for them. Not a thing. Every cent I make goes for them.
Well, I think it's a testament to your abilities, too, that you've been able to create a home and a safe place for a feral cat. That's amazing.
Yes.
It's a rarity.
And then all the other 15 cats I have there and 17 dogs and 2 sheep.
Oh, wow. Rin, Kenny, thank you so very much for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having us, Paul.
And we'll like I said, we'll share the fundraiser again, see if we can get your van moving, and help do everything we can to help you continue doing the great work you do. So thank you. Thanks for all of that. That's amazing.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Yeah,
all
great.
right.
Thanks, Paul.
Have a great day.
You too. You are tuned to KFUG LP Crescent City.